So here we are live. So anyone who will appear, I hope some people will appear in the next few minutes. Let us know if you can hear us. Here I'm today with the Josh, who look a little bit tired today. Uh, not a great night.
I actually spent a lot of time working on Evmos,
Yeah.
trying to bring Ted Lotto to the Evmos as well. It's been like taking a lot of time to me.
So you stayed up
Yeah.
uh,
So it was really
late.
hard to because it's really hard to coordinate everything. So basically, friends told us that they were going to do the delegation late at night, and I also had to ask the team and the community to delegate some tokens as well. So you get to like a very nice position,
Yeah.
and so you secure like the active set, basically, or place in the active set. So yeah, that's a little annoying. It's like asking favors for everyone and everyone in the community, etc. And it needs to be
Yeah.
done that in that time. It's like yeah,
Yeah, because you just so for anyone who is not aware, I want to introduce from exactly beginning. So Josh have a company, can we say this, which is called TED Crypto, and you provide validator services, um, and you are on some maybe not the main networks, but you are also the part of the our Bad Kids validator, which is me, Cortland, and you on the tech side running the node. So there will be few questions maybe answered if someone will ask. And yesterday you become as the TED Crypto finally active validator on the Evmos, and I think it's quite exciting. Um, and I think it's worth to give shout out to the friends validator maybe, um, because I want to share the story how we got together with the Josh. So I wanted to be validator on the Stargaze, and Cortland also came to me um, to offered that I can partner with Bad Kids because he knew I want to be a validator. And I had a chat with the Friends Validator, who are very big company, and I mentioned to them I'm not sure because I know they are big. Maybe I should start with someone smaller, and they were like really open and really supportive because they already knew about you, and they were like, "Yeah, if you plan to start like slowly, maybe more personalized scale, you should go with someone else." And Friends Validator actually helped you and delegated the tokens so you can be in active set on Evmos,
yeah,
um, which is
yeah.
quite.
So
Mhm.
so we actually I actually spoke with Fabian a couple of times already. I know he's in Lisbon. I actually have to go to so we both live in the same country, so Portugal. I live in the north, Porto, and Fabian lives in the Lisbon. So I actually have to go there and thank him in person for the delegation and the huge help he did on Havmus. But yeah, basically, since the first time that I spoke with Fabian, they are really their mindset is the appropriated one for the crypto. They are when it comes to this decentralization, is like they see the potential of the decentralization and they basically want to have a lot of uh, people participating and then they you can tell that they don't care if they are the top one in the validator list. They just want the projects to succeed and definitely that they have a lot of experience, etc. So
Yeah.
even my talk with Fabian was basically him being a lot of supportive to me and my idea, and I talked with him with some projects that I had in mind, and it was very supportive from the very beginning. It's like don't give up, like keep going, you are in the right direction, etc., etc. So it's like definitely the guy that you want to have as a friend, and I think he's like pulling us to the right direction as well. It's something to. It's a validator that you should look up to.
Like I was at the start, I was quite suspicious because I knew it's bad, big team, not bad team. And like from the big teams, it's like maybe you don't get this support, and like seriously, they like come in and they don't seem judgmental. In fact, like I had like exchanged some thoughts, some like values, and they're like really open for this discussion. So it was really cool that they're like, hey, we can help you. You don't want to go with us, it's okay, we still can be, friends. We can, try to help each other. So I think it's really cool that they are doing this. And regarding friends, I don't mind them to be like really high in being a validator, because they are really into ecosystem, they are very engaged, and not only in the social media, because they have social media group, marketing, and the tech side. So I think they do a lot of great awareness, where like there are other validators in top 10 and they don't do that great job. So I think they actually understood they could like seriously do nothing and just try to acquire more stake, which they probably try to do, but they try to help others as well, which is cool to see, right?
Yeah, so basically, I think I already told you this in private, but basically, when we started, so back in January, I started like making some validation and looking into Cosmos, SDK, etc. I'm a developer, so my first approach would be creating some tools and some UI, some website and apps for the Cosmos. Not really being into the validator, but basically then I came across with validation, and I saw how easy it was to start a validator, and that could be like an interesting thing to start stuff up and get some revenue to support me further, and maybe I don't know help some other validators starting as well, etc. That's the main goal of TED Crypto, and so at the time, I think I spoke with you. One of my ideas was actually creating a what I would call a VIP delegation, and where someone puts tokens on us, we would offer them a nice chunk of our rewards from the validators, but basically because they are putting their trust on us. Um, and we approach a lot of validators that were on the top list. Friends were one of them. When it comes to friends, like they say, like, okay, let's have a chat. We can have a chat. Let's talk about that project that you have in mind. Let's talk about that crypto, your ideas, etc. And they were like really easy to approach and easy to talk to.
Yeah,
Um, when it comes to the other validators, really, it was really a struggle. So no communication at all. I sent a couple of messages to some validators, and they wouldn't even reply, or said like something like, "Yeah, we are discussing this in team, but we'll let you know." But it will never that never
yeah.
happened, basically.
That's
Uh,
why I want to start this chat, from few that are good. Because like I'm trying to be quite easy and open, and if I see the validators are like doing good job, but not only in the matter of being a validator, but the good job as the helping the community, answering. This is kind of the part. I think with establishing the bad kids validator, there was block pain Todd, who was helping you. I saw there was Rhino, very responsive on the Stargaze validator chat, right? So there is few more that is really good. Um we probably will be jumping a little bit from subject to subject. Like we were talking about restake, and maybe we will chat about this, but I raised the issue of the restake on the Twitter yesterday, right? Like I was like, hey people, why you do the restake every hour when there is no benefit of doing this? Because many people probably do not realize that the compounding is till the certain point is benefit, but then if you compound more often and more often, there is doesn't increase your APY essentially. So I think once a day is optimal. If you go with twice a day, this will give you like 0.1%, barely any chance. If you go further, there is no increase in APY. So I was asking the question on the Twitter, because I think that's weird marketing. It could create the race to the bottom offering every minute, which will be like nonsense, right?
Yeah, and
And
it's actually spamming the nodes. So many of those the validators. I think I'm using the public validator as a public node as well. But basically, what happens is if a couple of validators are going to spam that often to the node, and that node being all public, is basically going to cause some issues with the network, and for no benefit at all. And I think, but I think
but
it's
they
more like
said,
a
so sorry to stop you. They said, hey, it's not still that often to spam the nodes. That's what they said.
it's not that often.
Yeah,
What do
they
you,
said
what do
one
you
hour,
mean?
once an hour is still not spamming the nodes. Is okay. That's what they
Well,
said. And
the problem is that you have 150 validators doing that at least on that 15 minutes. There's going to be some spam, and
yeah.
it also depends on the size of that delegator validator. If it has like a lot of validation, well, Tom is doing Tom from EcoStake, which is are the validator behind Restake, and he is amazing as well. Um, Kudos for them. I already spoke with him, and he's very approachable as well. He's one of those validators that is doing an amazing work,
Yes.
and basically he's doing a lot of improvements on Restake, and he actually made some many improvements to to the whole thing that is actually sending instead of sending a message by message on to claim rewards, he actually putting all in a single block, and so all those improvements in performance is actually going to not put that much pressure on the public node, but which is a good thing. But again, it's like echo stake and restake being mindful with the problem, and I think it should be like in both sides. I think validators should also be aware that because at some point it feels like it's sending sand to we have this terminology here in Portugal. It's like send to the eyes of delegators.
Hmm.
Like delegators will assume, like you just said, like if this validator is taking in 15 minutes, it's better than all the others. But it's not really like that.
Hmm.
It's like you said, it's like it's not really any improvements from doing that so often. And also, what people doesn't see is that the validator actually has on restake has like a minimum amount they will stake. So even if you are doing 15 for 15 minutes, if you don't meet that if you don't met that criteria of that minimum value that you should have to restake, then nothing is going to happen. So it's like I could tell you like I'm gonna do that script in 15 minutes, but my minimum stake for to stake for you is going to be 100 tokens, and you will never know.
Yeah.
You would assume that I'm doing the stake for you, but I'm not. It's like it's just to
So the
basically fool you
person who
around.
has like 20 tokens staked, it will essentially never catch them. Or
No, it will take a lot of time to actually basically the script is going to see how much tokens you have to get in rewards. If you don't meet
yeah.
that criteria, then you are not going to be I'm not going to as a validator I'm not going to stake your tokens for you basically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you see is and I think this should be more visible in the restake app.
I
um,
agree. I didn't know that, but I agree. But also you said because there is like just 100, it depends, like let's say 150, sometimes 100 validators, right? And they say, hey, it's not a problem doing this every hour. As I said, it will become a problem when people will be like, hey, we restake every block, and people will think it's great. And then we will be few years from now, maybe we'll have 500 validators,
yeah,
and the
that
situation will be
that will
different.
never happen because it doesn't depend on the validator to select it. They want to send a single block for each claim
Hmm.
rewards, and they would not really do that. It's more like because you are paying fees for that to sign that
Hmm.
and broadcast that block.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think again, Tom did an amazing job with the restake, and so the the public and the nodes won't see that much impact, but there are things that should be more visible to the
Yeah.
delegator, and I think that how often you run the script and you end up restaking is not really shouldn't be a
Yeah.
criteria for the delegators to care, I guess.
Yeah, as you said, I didn't know his name is Tom, the eco stake. I must say also he's one of the nicest, because when I rose the issue of like, hey, why people restake that often, I understand it's not like big deal, but there is like, if there is no benefit, why would you do it? So like it's sort of like bullshit job. Like, why? Just
It's just to fool people, isn't it? Like
yeah,
I saw that with Cerberus actually. I think was the one of the chains that started doing that often, and I saw actually people saying delegators asking me as a TED crypto to, and I think I have 15 minutes there, but I think because it was the first chain that I actually
yeah,
brought to restake, and I think delegators were actually asking me, oh, you should run this in 15 minutes because the others are doing 15 minutes. And it got to a point that people were actually running the script like every minute or so. It's like
yeah,
it's ridiculous. It's like it
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
mean anything. And
And I want to say, when I posted this, like, I would say quite a few was defensive, and I will not say name, but was like really annoying, because the person who is like really big validator, who can have big head, which is like EcoStake, he's not. He's actually very good guy who will help you. But there are validators who are essentially shouldn't have big head, and I would get response like, hey, this is not big issue, we are running the real stuff here, bare metal, we don't miss the blocks, this is trivial issue. I mean, like, bro, like, what? What? You are just silly guy with the bunch of cables at home thinking you revolutionize the world. Like, hey, like, let's just step back, this is like
yeah,
so annoying to me.
yeah, it doesn't go to what you run the validator on, or even if you are using your own validator to sign and broadcast these blogs. It's more like there is no benefit. So
Yeah.
I think they are using as an exchange coin to grab a couple more delegations, and
Hmm.
I think it can also misleading people as well.
But
But
yeah, so let's get to it now. And I think I want to do it more often with you. um so starting a validator, right? You need to have the node, so you have to use some server, is it correct? Like, from very basic.
yeah,
And there is few companies that offer the servers. The biggest is AWS, which is the Amazon Web Services. There's many
yeah,
others, you can use them. And I guess they are very big, reliable, right? If you want, they're a centralized company, but if you don't want to go down, it's pretty good option.
yeah,
Then you can have your own at home.
yeah,
So, and people who have their own bare metal at home, they argue it's better. It's better we do the real stuff. Can you tell me your opinion on that?
yeah. So basically, I think the people that run that bare metal at home, they have that mindset that they should own all the data and they should own the server, and it's completely decentralized to a fair point of view. Um, whilst running in the cloud, um, is I think is centralized. Could be a target for an hack or something, and they could get to your node, and I don't know from there what actually they could take from it, because blockchains are public anyway. They could probably steal your validator keys, etc., which could be a lot of annoying. But but then again, it's like I don't know. I feel like they both are very um, good cases. Like that there's fair if you want to run the
Yeah,
bare metal at home or
yeah.
outside in the cloud. I would say just personally, and I think I told you this in private. Is basically I don't run bare metal in the home, mostly because I'm really afraid of like having my ISP telling me that they're going to do some maintenance and they are going to power off the internet for a couple of hours, and or if I have like a electric grid problem at home or something like that, and the power shuts down, and it would require me to be more prepared when it comes to have like a energy supply alternative one that to basically keep my machines power and on
Hmm.
even during cuts, etc. And probably would require me as well to grab a second internet connection as well. Um, and
Yeah.
yeah,
So
for
it
me
require like
personally,
two internet connections, right? And it probably require you, I think Jacob said that to me, big battery at home in case of power issues. So you want to connect it to battery as well, which is not really convenient, right?
yeah, it comes down to the convenience. So if you don't want to get really uh, uh, bored with that technical stuff, that the power
Hmm.
and internet, then you would probably want to something on the cloud, some big company that would take those problems with you.
Yeah. There is one more option, and seems more and more people. I was even thinking this for us. And by the way, for anyone who's not aware, TED Crypto is in active set validator on Evmos. If you have Evmos, here is the small guy who does need the tokens and who try his best to make sure that it's all good. And also on the Stargaze under the bad kids, of course. So let's say this chat is sponsored by these two um, validators. There is third option, and many people um like not many people, I mean Akash, okay, the decentralized cloud. Many people go to it, and I saw the claims that this is essentially unstoppable because if there is problems, this one will not stop running. It's cost efficient. So I want to ask you, is it the true? is
I,
it is it that?
I, I didn't even know that you could run a node in a cache. Did you meet someone that is running nodes in a cache?
Yeah, there's some people does that.
Okay,
I f-
I know that
I
you can
saw
run it.
that. Yeah. There's some validators who say we move our nodes to Akash, and this is cost effective because it's cheaper. So do you think it would be good idea?
I'm not quite sure. I don't know how a cache actually works when it comes to resources. So
Yeah.
I don't know because it's like a cloud infrastructure. I work with SaaS before, uh, basically application that lives in the web. Um, but yeah, it's a nice question. I never look into it. I feel like I'm not sure how a cache really works. Maybe it
Yeah.
can
May
actually assign some
maybe.
resources in a very steady way. But
Yeah. Um maybe look into this, and in the next time we can actually address is it good or not, because if it's like secure and cost efficient, right? Then maybe it's better option, because as of now, the how much you said, like around $80, right? 75 euro or something like this is to rent the cloud. So if Akash is cheaper, then it actually makes sense, probably, because it goes down to like cost effectiveness, I guess.
yeah, but
uh,
usually I think we should mention that the top validators they incur in a lot of expenses. So they run a lot more than one server. They have sentries on top of the node, and they offer other type of services like Pokashu.
yeah.
So they offer like snapshots and state sync servers and uh, public nodes, etc. So and there is a lot of expenses.
So actually the basic one, like you are right, you just run the node, you rent. What's the other things you can add on top, and what is the cost of offering those services?
So you should run sentries on top of your node, and those sentries would have
What is
another cost.
this? What is this?
Sentries is basically another server, but they will act as a firewall to your node. So your node will never be exposed to the public. Um,
And what is the cost of this?
is another server basically. It would be another $80, and you
Okay.
should have a couple more than just one. The
But
more you have, the
essentially,
better.
if you get to like top 20, top 10 validator, this is like something you must do, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So
So if
and you should have like another backup server as well. So if for some reason your node goes down, you can easily spin another server and start
Mhm,
signing blocks again. And there's a lot of things that you can do to improve your infrastructure and your node and your validator.
mhm,
So that's something that I'm still doing. Um, and but yeah, I also spoke with like with um, Lavender 5, etc. And
yeah, they're also
I
good.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think it comes down to if you're like on the top 50, I would say you need to start paying attention to this kind of stuff. If you are above or below that, I think it's fine. I will say it's fine, but probably some validators is going to. I should take my job more serious, and I should
Yeah.
put some sentries up, etc. But uh, yeah, for now it's been fine just running the node. And if I feel like I'm being a target, some trying to DDoS
Mhm.
or etc. Something like that, I will have like that in mind, and I will spin my own sentries, etc. It's not that I
Yeah.
don't know what they are and what I should do. It's more like should I really have to be paying more? Because
Yeah.
yeah, my delegations and my revenue from what I get from the tokens is not as much, and so there
Yeah.
is
So
also
that's also you need to be profitable to actually do this.
yeah.
Um what are the plans for Ted Crypto, like being validator? Is it kind of the bridge for you? It's mainly you doing this, right? You are Crypto. I know you
I'm
have
busy.
some partners, but you said it's you.
Yeah,
uh
I'm basically I'm Ted Crypto. I work with my cousin and a friend. He
mhm,
actually has been more involved into crypto, and he actually was him who introduced me to Cosmos.
mhm.
And we saw a lot of potential. He's actually a very high investor in Atom, etc., and securing the
All
networks.
right.
So he's actually he has that mindset to actually secure networks. I never see him like selling tokens or anything like that. He's like, I'm gonna stake and secure the network, and we can talk after a couple of years if that has worked or
Yeah.
not. But he's not the type of guy that gets an airdrop and sells it basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I like him the mindset, and it's actually this. I'm doing this basically the same stuff. And he's like a financial is very involved with me as well. So basically, even for now for Evmos, we had to invest three k for to kick
Yeah.
on our TED Lotto, and then basically, which is the initial jackpot from our application, and basically
Mhm.
he invests half of it, and I invest the other half.
Yeah,
So
you said because Ted Lotto, so it's essentially like maybe good to say it's the lottery that you run, and it doesn't involve the investment of the people because like right, like it doesn't, but you put initial money in the jackpot, the chances of winning are not very high, and you use this part of staking rewards to add on top of the jackpot, so it's keep growing and some people can hit the jackpot and then it starts again, right? So that's
yeah, so basically, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like it's free and no risky, and it
Mhm.
basically is more like an incentivation for people to delegate with us and secure the network and having a little fun, isn't it? Like if I'm
Yeah.
gonna stake, because I'm staking, like imagine I'm a huge investor and I'm staking a lot of tokens with that crypto, and on top of that, I'm gonna have this the small game, the small chance of getting jackpot, and I'm gonna earn some rewards now and then in a couple of weeks, etc. I think it's really cool. It's like
So as I'm yeah, as I'm staking a little bit with you now, right?
when I have most,
I will get the tickets, yeah,
you will, yeah.
and
Do
I
you want to
can
show?
win the jack.
It would probably be a lot of fun. If you do you want to do that now? Have you already connected your wallet to Tablet?
Um, but I don't want to show my key publicly, so
Yeah, but you probably won't need to. I think it's like it's truncated.
Let's see. So I'm on
You
Evmos.
they will see your amount.
The Evmos. I mean, yeah, like whatever. What's the page? Where should I go?
Is lotto.tedcrypto.io/lotto/evmus.
Yeah. Okay, like I go first. Lotto.crypto and should be so Evmos and participate, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Do you want to share the
I'm
screen?
I'm I will share the screen now. Okay.
So yeah, because
So
I think people get a
so
little.
can you see it?
Yeah. So for now
So
we are running Lotto on those three chains.
and I
You
do the
connect.
jackpot. Someone can win 1,500. So I'm gonna approve this now.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's it.
So yeah, you have
Okay,
28.
and this is my stake. 283 Evmos with Ted Lotto, and I have 28 tickets
Yeah,
and the lottery in 5 days. Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
that's
So
pretty much it. Now you don't have any to do anything else. And when you actually
yeah,
get the prizes, you'll go into prizes. If you go to tickets, actually on
get
the
tickets
on the
now.
on the top bar
Tickets. Okay.
and go down. Those are your tickets.
So this is the number. It's actual lotto.
Yeah, yeah,
That's cool. I mean, it's fun.
yeah. Again,
Yeah.
if you are not happy with some
And
numbers, you can refresh the numbers.
I can refresh
Yeah, like that.
if I want to other number.
Yeah,
Wow, that's really cool.
yeah,
So how what are the, because probably the chances are programmed, right? So let me close this. The chances are probably programmed.
yeah,
So I wonder what are the chances of winning? And did you
yeah,
calculate this? Can it happen that people will win every week?
yeah. So
Which
the
is
because
problem for you.
more or less because the I think because with your rewards and everyone delegating to us, there's going to be a lot of commission that we took from our rewards, and I think in one way and another, there is going to complete one another. So you basically are
Yeah.
going to you could win basically whatever you are paying to us in rewards. So
So
that
which percentage of the commission going to the lotto?
it depends on chain. So on Bitsong, we are doing 40%
40%, yeah.
on Cerberus because we already got to a nice volume of tokens that we already got in the jackpot.
Hmm.
We have that in 20% of
Hmm.
rewards. And for Evmus is probably going to be either 20 or 40. We still
Hmm.
have to see.
I guess maybe start with 40, and over time as it gets bigger, we'll see if inflation of FMOS go down, because I think that's the issue. And I actually expect the FMOS price to go down. We'll see. It's not good
Yeah,
for anyone, but like with this inflation, you can't hold. I don't think you can actually hold, right? Like that will be difficult.
yeah. I think it's the right now one could easily speculate, but basically I would say that yeah, inflation that high
Yeah.
is one of the problems that for the price to go
Yeah.
down, and because it grow up so fast, it's not healthy for the whole thing. And when people start like dumping, then obviously a lot more people are going to dump. So it's not healthy at all.
Yeah, I I want to ask. So for you being validator, do you look this to be because you are developer with long experience, 18 years, correct?
Yeah, or more.
Which
I don't know, probably 18.
which languages are your strongest?
I would say PHP, definitely PHP. I'm a senior web developer. I actually do that for work. Is my main work, uh, and yeah, but I do have a lot of other experience with the other languages.
So
Sadly, never with Go and Rust, which is the
so
languages
how
that.
about Go and Rust? Are you going to use the fact that you are being validator maybe on this? I mean, Evmos is Solidity, right? Um, but there is Juno, I mean, which is Rust. It's interesting project. Do you plan to learn it? Would it be difficult for you to switch? Do you see some strengths of Rust? Rust maybe some.
Yeah, so basically, I'm doing actually the Interchain Development Academy from Atom. I don't know if you ever heard. It's basically,
You did mention to me, so that's how I heard. Yeah.
yeah, basically it's a course that Atom created, and they actually make some tests, etc. And I did these tests, and I passed. So I'm actually studying Cosmos SDK and having
Yeah.
the course with them. But yeah, and then mention that a Go, etc., Go language, etc., is really a little confusing to me. Or they structured the language, but it's not that complicated as well. It's more like what you get used to, and my being my background with PHP, which is a model view controller thing, and
Hmm.
it gets a little tricky. But I do agree with Jacob. So, and I think as when he said like on some interviews with you, I think was yesterday or um,
Maybe, yeah. I spoke to him yesterday. I'm actually doing too many. Like I'm getting confused now as well.
yeah. So basically, Jacob said that someone asked you where it could be a position for him as a
Hmm.
developer, and he said like Cosmos is growing. We need the developers in many areas, and I feel that I'm more efficient working with PHP, which is my main language, and I can easily interact with any chain like Ted Lotto. Ted Lotto is not any. It's not what you are expecting to see in other projects, because the other projects have like these um, JavaScript and jQuery, Node.js, etc., as languages to communicate and interact with the chain. But I'm actually doing that with PHP. So
Hmm.
basically, every language can interact with the Cosmos SDK. So there is no
I
need
I
for
have
people
the
to change it.
question now. Okay. Um, because I got the idea. Uh, but before that, like, is Rust something you also want to learn? Have you heard, like, have you researched the Cosmosm? Everyone talk about Cosmosm, and everyone is very excited. Like, is it correct that they are excited, or
Yeah,
are they overestimating?
no, it's really good when it comes to blockchains and smart contracts, etc. They really did a nice job. Um, and Rest actually makes more sense to me as Go more than Go.
Then
Um,
go with Rust and come to Juno. Like, I'm quite engaged. Many people maybe dislike me. Juno struggle, but I think a lot of cool devs and development go in there.
yeah, even GNOME Land, the new project. I don't know if you heard of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course.
So they will bring Go into smart contracts as well, which is amazing
Yeah.
for most of the Go developers. So, um, and I think like having a Turing machine. So basically, in the end, is going to allow basically any contracts to be written in any language, even PHP. So that would
The
basically
Nolang.
no lang. Yeah,
Oh,
is
that's really, like, I don't know much, because there was quite a drama regarding Nolang and Jaquan and people from the on the more like other people. There was part that wanted to implement Cosmos to Cosmos Hub. He said it's security danger. Some people were actually downplaying his Nolang project. They said it's not gonna do much, especially when we have like Cosmos and stuff like this. Any thoughts about it? Because I don't get
but
any of this.
I think lately I've been seeing a lot of drama in Cosmos and almost every
Yeah,
chain. It's not something that I pay attention to be honest. To be honest,
yeah.
I feel like if the project has value, and I think Ignoland has a lot of value,
Hmm.
um, I think it will just speak by itself. It's like independently like of who is running it, and
Yeah.
it's like I would say Terra. It's like everyone is like speaking bad about Doc One, but in the end, it's like if the ecosystem can actually survive, and developers are really into it, and they want to bring Terra up, they will just eventually do it. It doesn't matter who is running it. It's like that's the beauty of
Yeah.
being it decentralized, and
Yeah.
I think when it comes to Cosmos, it is even better, isn't it? Like because
Hmm.
uh, chains are not related to one another. They just communicate with one another through IBC, and that's it. Like If the drama starts in one point, that's fine. I was like,
Yeah, like I think many people that like really like there's some people I would talk and they like don't want to say cry to me in the comments because they like really I'm just like I've been trolling many chains and I don't care because I don't think people who are serious about this really care about the drama. It's like fun for them. But I had the idea for the lotto, right? um hey Zaid, I will bring maybe even like the Josh is Bitcoiner, I don't know, but like he's developer, so he's like it's you may be so Zaid that because um on my channel I don't like to speculate too much in the coins. I'm focusing on the development, but about the lotto I want to bring back the TED lotto. Okay, can TED lotto be something that would allow other validators to plug themselves in and create really big lotto game, like which let's stress it again, doesn't cost anyone nothing, but if you have 100 validators plugging it to the lotto game and even they do 5% of their rewards to
mm-hmm.
the lotto, the jackpot essentially is huge every week, right? And it would be quite fun at minimal cost to the validators.
Yeah, yeah. That's like the perfect world scenario for Ted Lotto is to get more validators participating and like be as risk take is currently for compounding would be Ted Lotto is going to be like to promote a game of chances to
Yeah,
Cosmos basically.
yeah,
But
and you
yeah, and
and it's go
I
on.
did design Ted Lotto to be to support of other validators. I actually probably going to do that on Evmos with friends and I was going to say hi apes, but basically we are painting on their support as well. So apes told us that they were going to support us, and we are just waiting for them to
We're
actually
orbital apes.
orbital apes. Yeah,
Man, so huge. I mean, it's kind of make me jealous to be that huge.
yeah,
Because they're like new validator. They are just some NFT from Evmos, right? And they really got a lot of delegation to them. Yeah, I hope they will support 2
yeah.
million
So
Evmos they have as of now. So essentially, yeah, be good for them, I guess, right? Like,
yeah, so basically, yeah, I've been in touch with Mr. Sir from the
yeah, I
Orbital
don't know.
Apes. Yeah, he's a developer, and he told me that they would be inclined to further decentralize the blockchain, and he promised me 2K. I'm still waiting for that 2K. I'm not going to lie, but
Yeah,
yeah, let's go and see. It's really
essentially,
nice
like,
to. It's really
yeah,
nice to when
essentially, it's like 1.5% of daily rewards.
yeah.
If I mean they get only share of that, so that would be like yeah, that would be like maybe 20%, 30% of the daily commission. I shouldn't say that maybe, but yeah, like hey apes, if anyone would hear that, I don't know if the what's Andromeda? Sasha, what is this? I don't know what's this. Sasha commented when
So to
Andromeda.
to to speak about Zaid asked about Bitcoiners. I'm not Ted crypto. Personally, I'm not doing Bitcoin, but I am actually mining Ethereum. And it's one of the things that when it comes to running your bare metal at home, is like you can see how annoying it is to have a machine that can fail on you time to
I
time
would I would hate that to have in my room because I expect it would be getting so hot in the summer. I would barely handle that.
and very noisy with all the fans,
Yeah.
etc.
So like this is like and I really like maybe I'm fragile sleeper, so it's like not something I would enjoy. Um, some other stuff I wanted to talk about. I wanted to gossip about some. Oh, okay. There's something. Um, validators running on 50 chains, and you were telling me you don't think this is the best thing that is happening. and that people should focus just on few chains that they are fully committed instead of opening more and more chains.
Yeah, yeah. I hate those validators that brag that saying that well, I'm on 48 chains. I don't think that's, as long as you have like a team that will actually support and have your back on those 48. That's splendid, well done. Uh, but when you see like on a validator, I won't say names, but they are obviously there, and you see them in every single chain, and they are on on the top of the chains of all chains, and they get like a massive rewards. And you see on governance, for example, that they are not voting.
Hmm.
It really pisses me off. Like, it's the worst thing that you could do is basically
Yeah,
because you
like you get essential out of money, right?
yeah.
And
So basically, let's take bad kids as an example. So imagine that or orbital apes. Let's take orbital apes. Um, uh, let's take it like for example, I can actually speak of one of validator that I'm
mhm.
not sure, but I will say his name. So Climedes is one of the
Mhm.
validators that I don't know why triggered me the most when they came.
How?
Uh, Cleomedes, something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Cleomedes,
yeah. I know, I know,
Dog.
I know. He's on Juno as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, their bargaining coin was saying, delegate with us, and we are going to give you an airdrop of our own token. And
Yeah.
the whole thing seems like a little wrong to me. It's like because they are like airdropping a coin just to delegate with a single validator. It doesn't
Yeah.
sound healthy. And and but people is just like they want tokens for some reason. Like they really want tokens. It doesn't matter the
Mhm.
value of them. They just want tokens. And they got like massive support in. They start like popping up in almost every chain. Some of the chains actually didn't even get to the active set,
Mhm.
uh, but it was basically like this that hype with the airdrops
Yeah.
and boosting stuff up based on a token. I don't think it like again I don't think it was healthy.
No.
Uh, one could say that one could argue that it would affect the other validators as well because some of the people were actually relocating to just to get the token, etc. And I'm not sure. Actually, I've been not seeing them being active in many of the projects that I'm on. So
It
um,
it's not the only one. You know, I think the post-human also was like, and they shoot up. Like they said, we're gonna do airdrop, and they shoot up. And this is so stupid because essentially what they airdrop into you is the DAO token with no value. So you think you might get some token and be able to sell it, more likely not. While at the same time, they just like you giving them delegations, they don't do much, and essentially they make money on you. Like this is such a dumb practice, right?
yeah,
So
yeah. So basically, I actually had that idea on February with a VIP delegation. You would, if I were to talk to you, one of my ideas would actually to create a TED crypto coin, and
mhm,
as a reward for you staking with us, we would give you a small percentage of our own
mhm,
coin um, based on your delegation. Is pretty much what Citadel is doing. Citadel is another validator, and I feel like that's the correct way of doing things. It's like you can delegate with us. We have these tools, and we have this DAO, etc. And
yeah,
if you delegate with us, I'm going to give you some tokens
yeah.
that's from our DAO that you can use to I don't know to give vote on our own proposals, etc. That's really cool. But when it comes
We
like
had
Cleomedes and using that hype of airdrops and etc. And yeah,
yeah, like I had some discussion in the Bad Kids Discord, which is like giving us like more option to play. I want to see what Cortland says about this. Because um people delegate to us, right? And some of them can win the bad kits, which is essentially good. Doesn't cost you on anything. But also, Sasha, I'm gonna address you in a moment. Yes, stake is probably too. Uh, but anyway, I wanted to say, depends what Cortland says about this. There could be created the NFT coin, essentially like we could name them bad coins, and there can be one coin and it's round NFT, right? And many people get this. Then can be 100 coin and it can be in the format of the Bilon, and
Uh,
we could just for fun reward them with the something that is called bad coin, and it will have NFT token standard, but you can reward, just play with it and make clear it has no value, but just play and engage. I think that would be
are,
really good.
are you brainstorming and disclosing your ideas in public?
Oh yeah, maybe
No,
yeah.
it's fine.
No,
Uh,
actually, like yeah. Anyway, no one will be able to pretend because the style is unique. But yeah, like we do brainstorming. Like the Bad Kids Discord is really cool, and like even
yeah,
community
I think I think
brainstorming.
I think that there is a lot of potential. That's why I align with you. I think those are the kind of validators. I think I already said that those are the kind of validators that make sense to me. Is like projects that are actually active, very active in chain.
Yeah,
It's their goal to for the chain to succeed. So those are the validators that actually mean something to the projects. And then you have like I said this in private. Then you have like a bunch of validators that are literally in every chain, and every time there is an upgrade or something like that, validators usually fail those upgrades because they are
hmm,
busy with some other chains or they just
yeah,
miss the notifications. And for example, I would say two the most I think ridiculous things that happen was basically Comdex. So when that proposal that validators did not vote to increase the
yeah,
validator set, for me is ridiculous. Like
yeah,
putting together a proposal and it not even met the quorum, and saying like people basically validators did not vote on that proposal because they were
yeah,
unaware or something like that, and having the need to put another proposal for the same thing, and someone from Comdex was pinging validator one by one. I think that's
yeah,
ridiculous. Like
yeah.
asking them to vote.
Why
I think
why you get engaged in the project? Why you being validator if you're not even voting and endangering our network, right?
I would just say for the easy rewards, isn't it? Like why?
You can see the motivation of the it's like motivation of the validators, like, hey, just give us stake, we don't give a shit if the network survives or not, you know. And
Pretty much like at the end of the month, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna withdraw my commission, and I'm gonna dump it or save it for
yeah,
later. But it's not healthy to me. It's
yeah,
not healthy. It's not healthy for the delegators. It's not healthy for the project as well.
yeah,
And
so that's
the
why it's
other
essential. Sorry, yeah, go on.
ridiculous scenario that happened, and Frey actually spoke that about on the Game of Nodes. I was not
Mm-hmm,
aware, but basically on Juno, there was some upgrades that security patches, emergency upgrades that should be done, and
mm-hmm,
um, and basically there were some validators that were not in the Discord channel. So Frey had to go and try and grab the validators from some other channels, like instead of Juno Havmus, they would like go
yeah,
into the Havmus Discord, try to speak with the validator that was there, and not on Juno, but they were validating on Juno.
yeah,
So and there was
and
this
ask them, hey, we're
emergency.
doing something, we need you.
Yeah, basically, it's really it's it's so ridiculous. Like you are
Yeah,
validating a chain, and there is something urgent that needs to be done, and you are not even on Discord. Like the people
yeah.
can reach you. Is really annoying.
So another reason to delegate to Ted Crypto is that you are involved in the chains that you work on, right? Like you
Pretty much, yeah.
communicate.
If it get to a point that I'm not able to stay that focus on that chain, I will probably look
Yeah.
into, I don't know, invite someone to the team, to the TED Crypto team. For example, let's say stars. Let's say that we had a TED Crypto stars validator, and
Hmm.
I saw that you were very active in the stars. So I would probably say, okay, Don, do you want to be responsible for our representation on TED Crypto
Yeah.
on stars? And we'll give you a big chunk of our rewards. Basically, we want
Yeah.
to keep if you want to keep validating that chain, and you are getting some rewards, then we will probably split those rewards with you just to make sure that we actually have someone that is paying attention to that chain, etc. I think
Yeah.
that's really important.
Probably it's
Uh,
because too early the validator teams need to grow and really focus on the different chains. It's really important, I'd say.
to be honest, I did that same mistake. So basically, when I first started in January, and it's really easy. Once you get it down to the running validators, it's just some commands that you run on the server, and then you buy another server, you run that same commands, and you keep doing this. And it's really easy to pop up a validator in a chain. Um, and I did that mistake. So basically, I started a lot of servers. I bought a lot of servers. I started
Yeah.
validating a lot of chains, and then it got to a point now that I say like, no, I'm not spending too much time on these or this other project. So I'm
Yes.
actually scaling down. I'm actually going to, for example, region,
Uh,
um,
region network.
region.
As
Uh,
I've heard of.
uh, I'm actually going to step down on that one. I'm probably going to remove my validator from
People
the.
love this one, but I still
I think,
don't really
yeah,
understand, and many people don't understand yet. So, I,
yeah, probably a little too soon for that kind of
yeah,
project, but
yeah.
that's really, it's a really good project, and that they've been doing like a very nice team.
Hmm.
Um, from the time and time that I actually go into that Discord to see the news, they're doing a great job. So
Yeah. And which chains are you interested in? Now you're on Evmos. Is there any other chains that you like really care?
yeah, definitely. So I would, if given the opportunity, I would jump into Osmosis, Atom, definitely Atom, Juno. So the big ones. They are like um, those are probably the top three that I would definitely look
Mhm.
up to. Evmos is definitely a huge goal to bring to us.
Yeah, I because we spoke about this, I do want to try it on Kryptonium brand at some time, like, and it would be cool to do it together. I really like. I think I should be on Juno because I'm so engaged there. I would need good tech support. I'm thinking of Nomic. I don't know, but I like compounding it every day, and I still do it every day. So maybe I would be there. And Agoric is for the future. That's like some plans maybe. We'll see. Evmos would be sweet in case of rewards. But anyway, the Sasha was asking. I don't know if if you have recommendation of bare metal. Do you know anything about bare metal? Like cheap bare metal that people can buy.
Um, so if it's cheap that you look, yeah, that's Edzner or wherever you
Yeah,
name
but
it.
he
You
was
said
asking in Asia region, so probably don't know, right?
I thought that they would offer in German as well, in Asia as well. But
Yeah,
you also probably, I don't know, in Asia.
I think
I don't know if
just contact
Contabo.
the Jacob because the Jacob do his own custom. I think so people can say you were saying to me because many validators, and this is maybe controversial one, many validators like to brag how much they contribute to the chain, and you as the developer notice something. Would you share that?
Yeah, so basically, I see a lot of PRs from many people that basically they just bump versions and they do small stuff like, and it's not really, and they would say like, oh yeah, I did this massive contribution to this chain, and it's just like bumping versions. It's like it's still a contribution, but it's not like a
But
massive
not
contribution.
that grand contribution, right?
No, not really.
Very
It's like
simple.
you
So
actually have a GitHub bots that do this version bumping for you. So it's like
yeah,
having you doing that contribution of the bot. I don't know. It feels
yeah.
like
So
it's probably not something that you want to brag, really.
but it's easy to brag, right? Like you hear someone, "Hey, I did 80 contributions in last month," but none of this was important, right? It's like
So
it's there, but no one care. Like if I read that, I'm like, "Wow, this is good guy."
I'm
Like
gonna
I
I'm gonna probably cross my neck here. I would say validators. A lot of validators brag on things that they are not really massive things. So, for example, I see a lot of people bragging about running their own wallet explorer, but that wallet explorer is from someone else. They basically just set up on the server and run.
all right.
So, for example, you have Restake app, and many validators is actually running their Restake version in their servers and under their domain. And I don't like that. Basically, I think that's fooling people. Uh,
Yeah.
if it's like if it's Tom and EchoStake already has restake.app, you should point people to that. Why would you create under your domain? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds horrible to me. And you have PingPub Explorer, which is an amazing wallet explorer. I use it a lot. And
Oh yeah, Ping, like it's also validator. Ping is validator. I
yeah,
heard it's good
yeah,
validator.
and
No one speak about Ping. Yeah.
yeah, and I actually delegated a couple of tokens to Ping.
Yeah.
Uh, and he did like a massive job, and he keeps doing it, maintaining, etc. And Ping.pub Explorer is amazing, one of the best ones that you got
Hmm.
there. It's really complete, and a lot of validators are running their own versions, and like uh, I won't say names, but for one time I actually got confused, and I thought that Explorer was actually from some other validator and not from Ping, and only then I realized that
But it
oh
was
no,
Ping.
it was Ping, like was Ping
Yeah.
all along. It's like I don't know.
Good you say that because like that many people don't realize, and it's really important, I think, to acknowledge the people like EcoStake, Ping that do stuff and people who copy them. Some people commented in the comment like I didn't know that. Zaid said, "Did you read?" I didn't. We're not in US, so that's why I think we miss sometimes. Like I was riding horses today, so I didn't check the news. But it seems that in US that the every DAO it needs to be legal entity, um, which is quite strange, and I wonder how it will like. I mean, like you can't really control that, so it's hard to come after that. I heard the idea that actually I listened to one guy. His name is Martin Shkreli. He just left the prison. He's known as the Pharma Bro. Was saying that about DeFi, for example, like the trade in crypto on the centralized exchanges is like boring. Like it's like obvious stuff. It would be cool when we have the stocks on the centralized exchanges. And then the government will get really try to chase that, but they will not be able to chase that, right? Like so that would be really cool. So I think with DAOs, it's like it's impossible. So Disperse is his own, right? I think it's really cool.
This
Explorer.
Disperse is a really cool explorer. I'm not sure if it comes from Looney Explorer, but
Not sure.
it probably um, it's probably from Disperse. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but I use Evmus from Disperse, the Explorer, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I think Mirror
I'm not.
Protocol down, so not really. It was in Terra. Um, else, wonder if there's something else, or we might keep it for. I wonder, like, because you as the developer, right? What you wish, which applications? Let's call smart contracts applications because that's what they essentially are. And I think, actually, for a person like me, like when I was starting, like when someone was telling me smart contract, I didn't know what is this. Like, but when you say application to the person, so I think it's easier to say like smart contract is essentially application. Um, which applications you think or smart contracts you think would be cool to be built, but they are not being built?
I don't know. I don't know. It's like. because I come from a very centralized world, um, and even smart contracts for me is like it's very intriguing, but it's very dark for me as well. Usually, I have to put a lot of thinking on how the heck they are doing this through smart contracts.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, even on the either course, we are doing actually a checkers game.
Hmm.
Um,
What's
so
that?
checkers game is that the board game that
But where?
in the IDA course, the Interchain Development Academy course.
Oh, right, right. I know, of course.
So yeah, their example is actually a checkers game. So you're actually building a game on top of a blockchain.
Hmm.
Basically, they are every move of the pieces is being recorded into a blockchain, and
Hmm.
that's how you make the games. And for someone that comes from a centralized world, that's amazing because I could think a
Yeah.
lot of ways of doing that game, but not using a blockchain and the way the blockchain was designed to work, basically. Um,
Yeah. Um.
I do agree,
Okay.
Sailor. Zed is saying like centralization is good for something that is not money. Yeah, that's definitely my thought.
Yeah.
I,
I agree. Like many people in crypto, I was saying of this, got actually lost in the decentralization name because they and maybe the COVID times made it even more put distrust in the governments. I was never on the like massive distrust guy. Like I like to read the facts actually, and
Mhm.
so that's it, right? So, but many people got so much into decentralization way that burned them badly, and they lost money because they made bad decisions, not thinking clearly and thinking that everything is gonna be decentralized now. I think DAOs will maybe not have place in everything as well, because I think centralization is good for certain stuff, and I feel quite comfortable using centralized stuff as well. Like it's easier for my life, it's more secure, give me comfort, make me sleep better at night, right? So
I think it's just a hype. It's good that people are like stretching those goals and those mindsets, etc. Maybe we got surprised in the end with some very nice smart contract that is using a decentralized blockchain and in a
yeah,
very smart way.
and it will be like
Uh,
wow, that's cool, right?
yeah,
Maybe it will come.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think Cosmos is going in the right direction. That's when it like with the IBC and every like chain talking to each other. Um, it's some like is decentralization in a centralization way. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. We're going to see that. So I think we're gonna end here, like to not make it like ultra long, and I think we can talk validation stuff if we have some ideas every now and then. I think would be cool. For anyone who's watching, the TED crypto on Evmos validator. If you look for decentralization, that's small guy. Like give them like you'll think. I mean, the Jacob is like big compared to the that crypto. So if you want to like really encourage like some engaged validators who still pay attention to the small details, that's good thing to do. Also, we are on Stargaze under the Bad Kids Validator. So for those who want, and delegate to us, and I think we will speak again, right?
Yep, looking
Okay.
forward for it.
Till the next time then. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for
Cool.
talking to me.